The Intuitive Wellness Cafe podcast is hosted by me, intuitive eating wellness coach Deanna Kozarov. My mission is to show women that health and wellness can be achieved without the pursuit of weight loss, counting calories, and spending hours in the gym punishing yourself. I am taking back health and wellness from diet culture and showing women that they don't have to succumb to diet culture standards to feel good in their body and find joy in life. I'll be coming on the podcast to talk about a variety of topics that will help you on your journey to food freedom, movement, and how to care for your body and life. It is my hope that by having this podcast, you will have the mental and emotional space freed up to enjoy life instead of constantly worrying and stressing over food and exercise, and live the life that you deserve. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Intuitive Wellness Cafe podcast. I hope you're well and good. Today, I'm going to chat about how health and wellness goes beyond just food and exercise. And before I start, just want to remind you real quickly about my free starter guide, Making Peace with Your Plate, that will be available at the link in the show notes. It will give quick tips that you can start today when it comes to having a much calmer, stress-free relationship with food and your body. So be sure to grab that. With the weather getting warmer here in the Midwest, I have been opting to go on walks as much as possible. With the walking, I'm also trying to make sure I get adequate natural light since we tend to be surrounded by artificial lights constantly, like computers, our phones, and so forth. I notice my energy levels and mood shifts for the best when I change my environment to more outdoor activities, and especially since it is now summer with our longer days. And while some foods definitely can help support our energy levels and health, diet culture has us convinced it's the only thing that matters when it comes to health. The health gurus out there, as we know them, like to go deep with the food and how to move your body, but not really the other factors that go into health. Like, what good is it to focus solely on food and excessive workouts when your mental health and surroundings are not adding to your well-being? Health and well-being are more than just food and exercise. A more holistic approach is needed when it comes to supporting our health and wellness habits. There's no point in eating salads and veggies, for example, if you are stressed to the max in other areas of your life. Also, what about connecting with friends and family, belonging to a community? How is your sleep? Sleep is one that's very often overlooked. We tend to think we can pull off sleeping only a few hours, and then we're wondering the next day, like, well, why couldn't I get my workout in? Why couldn't I, focus? Why couldn't I get things done that I want to get done? Like, no one, not no one, but a lot of people don't tend to think, oh gosh, I didn't really sleep. Your stress levels, your level of being well, like, did you get sick? Do you have a cold? These also matter as well, like all of it does. And other countries talk about how the U.S. has this like obesity crisis, healthcare crisis. But what they don't understand is it's not solely because of the food. Diet culture is a billion-dollar industry, and we spend more money here marketing about the latest diet trends, powders, workout plans, and so forth. I mean, there's a gym on every corner, maybe even more than one gym, like 2-3 gyms, like on every corner practically. And yet the country is still not 100% quote unquote well. And I do mean not just physically, but mentally as well, emotionally, socially. There are systemic issues at play with the lack of access to food with more nutrients, maybe not being able to walk in some of these neighborhoods, lack of childcare access, lack of doctors, and so forth. And these are issues that are not going to be solved overnight. I may do a future episode on the social determinants of health, which goes into the many factors of why maybe someone cannot pursue wellness and health that goes beyond food and exercise. Food and exercise are just a very small piece of the pie when it comes to wellness. And instead of going straight to the, detoxes and protein powders, we need to get back to the basics and the foundations and also the root causes of why we're not feeling so well. It could very well be those factors and not so much over the food. And also stressing about what we're eating and stressing over what we ate and being guilty can actually raise your stress levels. And like I said, like what good would that do eating, chicken salad if your overall wellness, everything else around your environment is not helping you feel well, So you can't just only focus on food. That's the bottom line here. And you only can't focus on excessive exercising either. Like I said, there's so many other factors that people tend to overlook. So keep that in mind. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. If, say, you didn't get enough sleep and you can't get your workout in the next day, that's fine. Don't want to stress your body out even more, not just physically, but also, mentally, because you didn't sleep enough. It's okay. It's okay. You can, get back into it the next day, focus on what was the root cause of why maybe you didn't get that workout in, or why you still feel stressed or low energy despite, eating well, quote unquote. There could be some other things happening. So we need to take a holistic approach to how we view health and how we pursue health, and dieting and restricting and focusing just on diet and exercise alone is just not going to do it. So we talk about these kind of things in my one-to-one private coaching program. So when you want to work on things like this, as well as other aspects of our health that does not require dieting or obsessive workouts, like I said, I do have a one-to-one private coaching program. I'll add the link in my show notes to the details of my one-to-one private coaching program, which will have a link to apply. So go ahead and apply, and I will then respond back to you, and we can go from there. And as always, please leave a review, share this episode and podcast with others that you feel would benefit. This will help get the word out more about this podcast and the messages that I talk about here. And once again, thank you for listening, and I will chat with you on the next episode.